All right, it's finally that time. Going to pick up the Bermuda sod. And for this project, that's not gonna cut it. Today we're taking the big boy. Let's go get in. We're headed out. We got about an hour drive to go pick up the sod. Been off to a pretty rough start for the day, but it's okay. We're in the big 2500 right now. The payload capacity on a 2500 versus my Chevy Silverado 1500 is exponentially different. I think I can carry like 1,700 pounds in mine, where this is like 4,000, half ton versus 3/4 ton. So they told me that it could weigh anywhere from 2,300 to 2,800. Currently, as you can see, it's pouring out. It's gonna be wet. It's gonna be heavy. So I'm glad that I brought this big truck. So let's take a drive down to Manchester, Tennessee, which is where we're going to. It's about an hour away. Home of the Bonnaroo Festival, I believe. Hopefully by the time we get back, it'll be done raining and we'll get the sod laid down. Super excited. All right, see you when we get there. All right, y'all, we're out here in Manchester. We got it loaded up. That's about 3,000 pounds, the guy said. It's wet out here. It's foggy too. Look at how humid it is. There you go. That's not much better, but all right, let's get this puppy back. We'll drive around the farm a little bit just to check it out, and then we'll head back to the house and get this stuff down. That's pretty wild. If you're ever in Manchester, Tennessee, this is worth checking out. No different than a golf course, but kind of different. So we made it back home. As you can see, we got our pallet of sod. In order to prep this area one more time, we got a ton of rain. I think we got like 3 inches of rain in the last 2 days. So I'm just gonna run the scarifier over it. It only goes down 10 mil, just to get the surface messed up and just make sure everything else is dead. If there's any grass that was alive, just kill the roots. That way the Bermuda can take over, which it will anyways. So let's go do that real quick and then we'll start laying. And I didn't really even give a proper intro to this machine. This is a Sunjoe dethatcher and scarifier. You've probably seen it on the internet if you're into these type of videos. But this thing was like 150 bucks, obviously corded, and it has 2 sets of tines or whatever you want to call it that are interchangeable. Right now I have the scarifying set on, which is more of a cutting blade. And on this machine, you can set the different depths of how far down you want it to scarify or dethatch. Basically what it's used for most of the time is in your fall before you're overseed. You can use it in fescue to rip up all the old dead grass that's died over the summer, or in the spring, if you have winter kill, you can use it and it'll fluff the grass and take all the dead stuff out and leave the good stuff. Or you have the scarifier setting, which goes a little deeper and it'll create craters. I've used that for overseeding. It kind of is like a slit seeder minus the seeding. You just do the seeding after. So today what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use that as like a light till. I didn't want to till this because, as you can see, the grade is pretty perfect. We have a slope up to the patio, which I did last year with a bunch of dirt, and I got the fescue on it to hold the dirt there, and when I killed it off I didn't want to till it up and mess it up. So you can see the grade is pretty perfect. I don't want to adjust anything. I don't want to till up rocks. I don't want to mess it up too much. So I scarified and I raked. It looks really good. It helped that we got a lot of that rain. Now the overall is coming handy. It's gonna be a lot of bending down and just laying the sod. I was thinking about going long ways, but with how many changes are down there, I figured it's just easy to make the changes going this way, since that's pretty consistent over there. I don't know. You might look at this and go, you're an idiot. You should have done the other way. Should have been here. You should have helped me. All right, let's get going on the tough part. I've never done this before, so it's gonna be a learning opportunity for me and you. I'm gonna start off by going off this rock wall edge right there, and since it's so curved right there, I'll just work my way that way and have a straight line. That way the rest of this is all taken care of. Asher, what are you doing? You eating that? Eating a fly? So this is what the Tiftuf Bermuda is looking like off the pallet right now. Just in comparison, you can see how that is. It's pretty, you know, the blades are pretty fine compared to a putting green Bermuda like this, where this is as tall as they'll grow. I've never cut this down. The blades are micro. Over here is where we have some common Bermuda that I propagated from the golf course, and it looks completely different. It looks completely different than the both of them. You can see how wide the blades are. It won't grow together as much. All right, got the first few strips down. It's looking kind of rough, to be honest with you. Trying to envision what it will look like. It's been rained on all night, which is a little frustrating about timing. It's heavy as frickin' you know what, but it's gonna be beautiful. This will be real mode and it will be beautiful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish off that, and then we're gonna move this way. Everything else that way should be cake. So when it comes to the seams, ideally the seam would be a little bit further. I don't know why I got a half cut right there, but what I'm doing is I'm getting it a little more snug than it should be, and then I'll be curling it up like that, so that way I can get it a little bit closer. There you go. Curl it up. It'll do it. Like that. Like that. And you step on it, and it'll close the gap. All right, let's go on and finish this half moon and then work our way back to the rectangle. It's a few days later, just doing a little check-in on the grass after laying it down. As you can see, it's greening up perfectly. I was a little nervous there for a second because it was looking pretty brown. You can still see some brown spots, but between the clouds giving us some of what we need, and I've just been supplementing it with a little water, a little meaning a lot. The sod lines are definitely pretty prevalent. We're gonna have to wait for those to grow in. My plan with this is gonna be a future putting green. This year it's just gonna be about growing in, you know, getting 1 or 2 fertilizer applications in before the winter dormancy. And then next year when we come back, we're gonna be scalping it. By then, I don't even have a greens mower yet, so I'll be looking for one of those, and we'll sand level this and reset the height of cut and everything. One thing I was surprised about was the height of the sod. As you can see, this sod is pretty tall. It's probably close to 2 inches. And I'm hoping to maintain this between like a 1/2 inch and an inch, depending on, you know, whether I want rough or not. This is what's gonna be going down for the green. This is Tiftuf Bermuda. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up, but everything is going perfectly to plan as far as the backyard goes. We have our arbor, we got our plants set up, we got black raspberry bushes there. Projects left that we have on this putting green, or I gotta do a paver walkway right there. And then when we get to it, this is also all gonna be pavers. So as far as the sod project goes, I'm super happy. Can't keep him out of it. He's loving the new grass, it's so soft. Can't keep the girls out of it. They're running their feet through it, but all right, rain's starting to come out, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Look forward to our paver projects, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, right here after I got done talking, this is what we done. So it's definitely getting some water now.